Welcome back to the channel. We've got this Leer cap. I found this on Marketplace. I'm a cap guy. I like a cap on a truck so that I can keep my possessions there and keep everything dry. And we get winter up here, and obviously, you know, it fills up with snow. Well, I like to keep a clean bed, be able to put my stuff in here. I like the headroom. I also like a window in front of the cap here so I can slide that open. I got another window in the back here, so if I want to slide a long board in, I can. I found this on Marketplace. It's a Leer. There's the number if you can read it. But this is a carpeted interior. I believe it has internal light right here. Can't see it. I got to hook that up yet. I got a pretty good buy on this, I thought. I didn't want to put a generic cap on here because it wouldn't fit proper. This one is molded. It fits this model. It's designed for it. It molds down over the edge. And obviously it's the wrong color, so I want to paint that. That'll be a future project. The condition, I think there's a couple light scratches on it somewhere. There's one, like that. But I think that's super easy to rough this up, mask it off, paint it, and get the matching color. The back of this, there's Tiger. Hey, Tig, what you doing? But this is molded right here, and it goes down over this curved rear part of the tailgate. And if you got a flat cap, it would fit up on top. It wouldn't be molded down over the edge. That keeps it nice and waterproof. It also keeps the cap from being able to shift. And the other door would come down and fit flat on top of this plastic, and then it chances of leaking in, you know. And so anyways, I had to get this. This was pretty decent. It come off a 2019, and I think they were going to scrap the truck. It was at a body shop, and it was a couple towns over, and they said they wanted to go. And I got there, made a deal. We set it on. He even had the clamps, and the clamps look like they bolt down through the truck, but they do not. They bolt on the inside, and they just kind of squeeze it in, kind of like the tonneau covers hook. And, you know, as you can tell, it's like brand new. I don't know if they really used it. The only problem with it is that I don't have a key for it. They didn't have a key. And so it's got the Leer. I believe it's a Leer. It doesn't really say Leer on it. If I can even open it. I can't really open it. But I don't have the key for it. So I went on the old Amazon, and I got a whole new little lock set for it for, I don't remember now, it was like 20 bucks. And I thought, well, I could try to get a replacement key if I could get the number off the lock, which there is a number on the lock. I already checked it once. And it has a release on the inside. So if you happen to get in there, somebody shuts the door, you can pull on the release and get out. But you can also come over to the sides and pull on the cable. The lock I got looks a little different. This one has a big nut. It's got a metal ring that comes across the top. It velcros to that. It looks like I can reuse that ring. I should be able to reuse the cables. I'm not sure, but I believe the other unit comes real similar to that. There is a 1/4-inch lock bolt here, lock screw, slides over the shaft, square. I couldn't find the exact thing. The cables run through this little rail, and it's kind of a neat setup rather than the long bar that comes across to each side. It's a cable now, but this operates well, works well. Just don't have the key. I want to get it so I can lock it. I can go to the store, put a saw in there, do something. I can shut it. I know it's going to stay there. Remember, we put in the Nissan Titan boxes. They lock. That would work best, obviously, if I didn't have the cap on, but they still would work nice. You can still put a 4x8 sheet in here, or 4-foot wide sheet in here. Fits between the boxes. And so let's get a start on this. I'm going to take this apart and see, you know, how it comes out. There's probably a clip here. I can't tell yet. Let's start disassembling. I'll gather some tools, 1/4-inch and large, either pliers or crescent wrench. And that's probably it. I'm not sure if I'm going to take all these out. This is, I don't even know. It looks like a rivet of some sort. But I'm going to check that out and see what I need to get them off in there. So here's my Amazon box. I like this slow open tailgate. No slamming. Made in China. It just says latches on it. So when I opened it up, it looks similar but different. Thank you card. Thank you. It does. This one has the complete kit out here. So that's kind of cool. Don't think we need it. Actually, if I recall, this is like $1 something more for all of it versus just the center. And I thought, well, if I break a part, I'll have a part. So here's your release. And that's just a swing lever instead of this pull. And then we got the cable, which looks pretty nice. It's got a like a little brass end that's crimped on, and you just hook it through on both sides. It goes through the center. Of course, no instructions ever, but I'm going to measure this to see if it's a match. There is a lock nut on it. There's a gasket, and I'm going to see, I don't know, if I need the whole unit or not. But the first thing I'm going to do is make sure the keys fit. Yeah, this one opens kind of stiff too. But I like that, it keeps the snow out. My old one, I was always getting junk in there, and this one has got a plastic cover on it. You can't even put the key in yet, so that's cool. And then lock to the left, unlock to the right, spring loaded, that's nice. And the reversible. So my other one, I had to put in only one way, so this one's kind of nice. And it actually works. So it's got a set screw in the back. It looks like I'm going to go ahead and use this complete kit because they are different. But if the diameter and the depth is the same, then I don't see why it won't work. And for $20, I think it was, you got to give them the key code, and I think it was $14 or something for a key. And so I'm like, that's not good spending there, so I might as well get some components with it. I get the key in it, and then the lock doesn't work well, you know, who knows. So I'll get some tools out, we'll get figuring this out. Okay, these end latches are the same exact thing. And they have a 3/32 Allen key. So we don't need them, but it's probably a good thing to have. I think if I kept them on hand and they ever jammed, I could replace them. I don't see any sense in replacing them. The center is definitely different. The unit up here, when it comes through, is just the square like the old style, and this is the big fat modern. The depth looks about the same, and then the cable release pulls on both of these, and the cables are, they appear to be about the same, but they're not. It looks like, actually it looks like one cable goes the whole length, and this one has two ends, just two separate cables, and they go into this lock on the end here. And so this has two little locks on it. We got both kitties here. We got the tiger and the squirrel. Tig's in the chair. Right? What you doing, Tig? Tiger! What you doing? And we got the old squirrel bird over here. What you doing? So I'm going to get started on this. I'm just gathering, getting my mind going here. So I'm going to take this little set screw out, pull my cable, come through here, take out this hex screw, slide this off, unscrew this big nut with some channel locks. Same thing on this side. Now start off fresh. I'll go ahead and push this lock out. Hopefully it'll come off the gasket okay. So all I did is move this first. Took that off. Now we're going to take the big nut off. See if everything's going to work out here. And then I want to push this out through the back. Pretty stout, big heavy nut here. And then looks like a washer. Drop that. And then I'm going to check this right away. You see this nut, see if it fits on here, see that? Same thing. So just confirm before you rip everything apart you got the right stuff. This looks like it's ready to go, and so I think what I'm going to do, should still be able to latch it. See if I get this thing open. Oh, it come out. That's all you got to do. Just pull on this. So we got, I was going to open this up, but here comes this fell off, and this is your top piece, goes in this way. That holds that little release lever, and then this just pulls out. Got rubber gaskets all. So I'll clean this all up. It was clean the other day and I had to go on dirt road, so there we go. Truck's dirty. And then we're going to compare these two, see what we got. The depth is the same here with the stem sticking out longer. So we're going to put on the new style. And I'll compare parts. Get some glass cleaner, clean that up. So I took the nut and the washer off. And this has a tear off stick gasket. And so we can put this on this way up. And that'll stick right in place. And get her even. Just like that. And then we'll put, I think I'm going to reuse this. And the date on this is 6/21. So that's kind of cool. So now I know the date of the cap. I believe it's at what it is. This comes with a washer nut, a new one. Let's use those. And then I think, like I said, I'm going to put the bracket in there. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to use it for something, but at least it'll be on there. And I'll just pull on my releases. Should still be able to open this. Yep. And then there she be. And I think there's room enough. Put the bracket on, then the washer. See if we got thread enough left, you know. If not, I'll just take the bracket off. I don't know if it'll serve any purpose. Got the Velcro strip on. I guess to be able to reuse these. I don't think I can use the same setup, but and then the nut goes on flat side up. Lock that on. We're halfway there, right? Halfway there. Whoa. No, there's not quite enough thread there, so I'm going to take that bracket off. I'll tighten that nut up. Alright, I got the new washer nut on, and then this is a pass-through wire with a pull tab for your release. And I'm going to take the ends off 3/32, and then just pull the whole cable right out. I just did the other side. This ends through this. I don't know how far to go, a little ways. And then just pull your cable through. And then we're just gonna pull this whole system right out of here. And then I like it. It's probably a little nicer than what come with this. says pull here, and that releases both cables. And then the cables are in nice shape. But it's a different design, so we're going to be putting this piece on, and the cables go through both of these. And then there's little caps for it, so I got to figure out how they go. So what it looks like is you just put this piece on. I'm going to leave this in the up position. Put that on, and then a washer head screw. So this way you can just push on it if you're on the inside, and that'll be your release. And then there's a washer that fits one way, and Phillips screw, and I got it fairly snug. Let's see if it's tight enough. Pretty tight. Now we're going to slide our cables in, and then this goes that way, so when you open, and on these brackets, I don't know if you can see it from there, but you gotta pull it to release it. So that one would go here. So feed that through that little hole. I can see it. Whenever you look up at the sky, it's hard to see it, right? I believe that one goes through this way. And then this one through that way. A little nicer design than the old stuff. Remember that old handle you just turned and it's kind of sloppy. And then this goes right through this barrel end again. Pull your extra through. Right through this barrel. Pull your extra through. And then, like I said, if I lock one down, I don't want to trim the cable yet. But because this is spring loaded, that's there. What I'm going to do, I don't know if you can see it. I probably can. And then there's that little 3/32. I'll just pull it snug like that. I don't have to be super snug, but hold it like that. This barrel wants to roll, so you got to kind of hold that. Snug up, hold your cable from sliding. I'll do both ends here. And then probably could tape off the end and bring it back, but I'll probably just cut them because what do you want this sticking out for? And then tighten up that. Hold your barrel from turning. Now, let's see if it works, right? They're both moving. Probably a good time to put a little oil on them, right? See what condition they're in. They look pretty nice. I don't really want a lot of goop and oil in them. Maybe towards the winter months, if they get sticky, I'll put a little bit of lithium or something. So now I'll move all my junk out of the way here. I'll leave these wires hanging for now. The looping back, I said, is you can bring them back like that and just put some tape on it, because they'll probably never interfere with anything. If you cut them, you can never really adjust them after that. Maybe that's what I'll do, because they're only like, I don't know, they're not an 1/8 inch, they're probably 1/16. Just, I could wrap them, bring this up kind of snug, put tape there and tape there. Later, if I don't like it, I can cut it. I want to test it out. Alright, I started to tape them off. I don't want to do that. I think they're going to get hooked up too bad. So I ran the wire through our guides, through there. I don't see any reason why I'd need to change them. They do seem to work. And so I'll probably just cut the cable off. But let's make sure she shuts. Works. Hey. And then with it shut, I know I don't have the tailgate closed. I just want to test this, make sure I can get out if somebody was in there. And it works. So it's just a release lever. I think it works great. So what I might do is leave them so they don't interfere. Maybe an inch long, cut them, and then maybe put tape on the end because it's cable. Even though they're plastic coated, I don't want to start fraying, you know, because they're not very heavy. Let's test this. Let's see, can I test it? Let me cut them first because if I close the tailgate, this will get lodged in the tailgate, right? Hold on. Got a nice breezy day today. It said 81 earlier, and humid, but it's not really humid. It's kind of nice out. We're getting into fall because we got some leaves a changing. Not even September yet. We're in an early winter. So this works fine. So let's, because there's no handle to grab, apparently you got to grab right onto here each time because you're, you know, hard to reach. So I'm just going to grab the handle when I'm ready to close it. Do that, and then you can probably also push on these because this whole thing is glass, and it's nice because it, you know, hard to see through it. I think what I'll do is I'll test the lock with a key prior to closing the tailgate because we won't be able to get in there, right? And then, so we know it's open, so we lock it. Can we turn it? We can't turn it. But because it's locked, we should be able to turn it from the inside. Yeah? So that part works. And so, and it's got the little water cover on it. So unlock her. I like it. So now we'll close the tailgate. Let's make sure it works. And then, see how nice this cap, it goes way up, 1.5 inches over the face of this. So in the winter months, or even the rain, you don't get that blowback that goes in there all the time. So fits really tight. There's a seal there. I might adjust the cap a 1/4 inch back farther. There's room enough to get the key up in there on both sides, right? Yeah. But I think I'm going to move it back when I finalize this. But this is just installing a lock. So I can lock it, put my stuff in there. You know, you stop at the grocery store anymore. Somebody's going to take your groceries, you know. So I just want to be secure. And this cap is nice enough. You can almost camp in there, you know. You don't have a lot of room, but it's nice enough. Got some nice screens, nice slides. They lock. Front locks. I'm pretty happy. This thing's like brand new. And it was a no-brainer getting this. I saw it on Marketplace. And these sell for, you know, upwards of $3,000. And then you get them painted the color of the truck. But I can go on eBay. I've done it before. And you just put in your VIN code and you get the paint. We can get it like a quart of paint. This will probably take a quart. But I might buy a little more than that because if I want to touch up, sometimes it's best to have the paint. And then you get clear coat. So if I did a couple coats of clear on it, this thing will be pretty. What I want to do is, I don't know if you can see, sort of. I want to make probably made out of wood, but kind of like a sawhorse setup, so that when we lift this cap up and take it off, it'll be about the same height or slightly higher. It's got to be higher than the bed of the truck. And then we can lift the cap off and it'll sit right in this thing and not fall off. Maybe make a groove where it sets and locks. That way when I go to paint it, I can get paint under this lip and inside the lip and inside here without moving my horses around. I hate to mask things off, but follow along. I think I'd like to do this before the snow flies and get this color matched. A couple people said, hey, I like that cap, but black looks good on there. Well, I don't think so, but The thing's in awesome shape. So I'll probably be doing a quick video on painting this, and I think I can do it. I think it was $102 for the paint and the clear plus tax, so I'll be like 110. I'll be probably some masking tape, some sandpapers, miscellaneous. I think I can do it under $150. It's definitely worth it. So follow along with the channel. We're gonna go ahead and call this a wrap. We got a cap. We can lock. Nice. So I think this is great. It's a Leer cap. Got a new lock. Got 2 keys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.